Hi, and this is Ed, and you're watching Doodling with a Guy Who Can't Draw. I guess the YouTube channel where a guy who can't draw doodles. I'm doodling on a Huion, or Huion, however you say it, I'm not sure. GT133 13-inch drawing tablet with Krita as my drawing app. I think I'm going to draw a skull today because I enjoy drawing skulls. They're the main thing. I do scratch and pet the line a lot. I have nerve damage in my neck and back that makes it a little difficult for me to draw from my shoulder, and it makes it a little uncomfortable for me to find ways to sit while I'm drawing. So I will ask that you kind of bear with me on that. Sure, there will probably be enough people telling me how terrible my drawings are, which is fine. You're entitled to your opinion. You don't have to like it. I'm primarily doing this because it's something I enjoy doing, and I'm sure that my drawing is not for everybody. That's too big for me. It's pretty. I have a tendency, and I guess it's because my wife does x-rays for a living, to over-dramatize the zygomatic arch when I draw a skull. I will talk about anatomy, because it makes me sound smarter, even if I'm not. But the zygomatic arch is this, and you can feel this in your face. It connects right in. This is the cheekbone. But that's this right here. This spot right here is your zygomatic arch, and it's a bone kind of just below the ear for most people. So I pet the line and I scratch things out a lot because of my health issues. And then this down here, where it comes out and your teeth sit, is the maxilla. And your teeth will sit in there, and I'll make a little more. And this skull is going to be, I don't know if he's happy, but he's got his mouth up. See what he's doing. We've got our mandible, which is the jawbone that comes down like this. Right, and so we've kind of scratched out kind of an approximation of what I want. And so I wouldn't say I'm completely happy with him, but he'll do for what we're working on, for what I'm working on. I don't know why I say we. We are not working on it. I am sitting here doodling, and probably not very well. I think my phone's ringing. Don't think I'm going to answer it. Okay, so we've got an approximation. And then, because it's easier for me to draw when he's rotated this way. Then we're going to zoom in a little, and then I'm going to start with his teeth. And that line where I drew the maxilla, I'm not going to have to do anything with it because I will go over this again. I usually do. And I should probably record my narrations afterwards, separately, but I'm just gonna go with what I have right now. Okay, so let's bring this out this way. Okay, so we kind of have something that resembles a skull at this point. So now I want to kind of start working on embellishing this, right, and making it more the way I want it to look. And again, it's not. I'm not an artist. I'd love to be, but I'm not. I'm not overly talented. Now, what I could do, if it's what I wanted to do, and it's not, I could come in here and I could just erase these lines. And I could make that work. Right? I can do that. It's just one little. I just push the thing on my pen, my stylus. But I could do this and make this work for the picture. And when it's done, most people probably wouldn't notice that it's what I had done. Right? And then when I zoom out, it's okay. It's there, it's okay. What I want to do at this point, I guess, is go to this and let's make this guy bigger. So then I can start, get my next layer, go back to this here, and then start working. And is this, that's right, oh, on my eraser, yes. Okay, let's go to that. And then we're going to start here. Right. Come. Here and come in this way, and bring this line up. And then we're going to start giving some kind of detail to this cheekbone and reworking it a little bit because I'm not necessarily happy with the way it was sitting. But where I scratched it out is kind of my guide for what I'm doing. Gives me the idea of what I want to do. Right? And I generally do work in multi-layers. I think from the videos I've seen on YouTube, most people kind of do that, work in multiple layers. I'm sure there are some of you guys who are just really awesome at drawing that can do it in single layer, and they can freehand this with their eyes closed. And that's fine. I respect that. I wish that I was that talented, and it's not that I couldn't be. I just started rather late in life at drawing, doodling. I've always loved to draw, but I just didn't do it consistently when I was younger, and I really, really should have. And so at 40, this is about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, when I really started getting more interested in drawing. And trying to be better at it than I had ever been before. And really started getting into reading how to draw this and how to draw that books. And so I started into now being in my late 40s. There are teenagers who can draw circles around me and draw so much better than I can, and I'm not. Well, I just wish that I had had their passion and motivation when I was that age to do this. I have a little erasing. I'm not sure what I did right there. It's just that's an odd gap. Right, and then we got this area that's part of the zygomatic arch. Again, I think maybe I just like the word zygomatic. And I'm going to apologize if I'm ever doing one of these and you start hearing my dogs barking or me yelling at my dogs. Okay, so it's this way. And before anybody goes into the comments and tells me, hey, there's a stabilizer you can use, yes, I am well aware that there is a stabilizer. I don't like using it. This takes me longer and takes more focus on my part. Okay. So, let's get rid of it. Okay. And then we have this. So now we have a skull, but he's not, I'm not overly happy with him. So then I want to just start throwing in some shadows. And I've seen videos about people overusing and abusing the airbrush. I like to use the blend tool myself, and I'll drop it down somewhere in the 30% range. And 60 pixels is too big, so bring it down to about 22, somewhere in there. And then I'm going to start adding shadow. But before I do that, let's make a new layer. That way if I do something I don't like, I don't accidentally erase anything that I do. So then I'm just going to come in here, start this way. Here, some shadow down too. I'm going to go over this area that I kind of cross-hatched. I'm going to add some shadow in there. I'll add shadow here. I'm going to put some in here. I don't know. I should take some art classes, and I would like to, where I live. I prefer to do it in person, which maybe sounds crazy to some people, but I would much prefer in-person instruction as opposed to online instruction. But unfortunately, the area that I live in, partly due to COVID, and then I don't know what the other factors are, because I've looked into it, and there just really isn't anyone within an hour of me that does individual art instruction, despite the fact that I would love to have some individual art instruction. And nobody I know is really, I don't really know anybody that draws, so they can't even point me in the direction and say, hey, well, this guy does art classes, maybe you should get a hold of him. Well, necessarily have anybody around me who's going to give me that kind of information. So what I'm doing is I'm just throwing shadows. I did not, and this is a mistake that I've made, decide where my light source is. I promise these lines are going to look better, but I'm just kind of scratching in here right now once I get to the point where I want to blend it. So I'm just kind of throwing in shadows where I think they need to go. I have seen online art classes that you can take, but those I'm not to make excuses. I don't know of any that are individualized. Maybe if you're watching this, you can throw something in the comments and tell me, hey, this guy does individual art classes online. I also, being a disabled veteran, am on a budget, so I don't have just a lot of money to throw around. But I'm not going to pour mouth and say like, oh, I can't afford anything. So, if you know of something, let me know in the comments. I will most likely respond to positive comments. I will read the negative ones, but I'm probably not going to respond. And if you begin to make a habit of negative comments on the page, then I'll just block you and you can find someone else to bother. Because there's enough negativity and division in the world without, I don't think that we need to really add more. It's just not necessary. I do this because I enjoy it. And again, I've already said that I'm not very good at it, so somebody getting on the page and then reinforcing that isn't necessary. Trust me, I know. Okay, no Jim Lee. I'm no Todd McFarlane. No Sam Keith. No Peter Hahn. I'm not. I don't think I could even hold any of their styluses or pens, to be honest. So, and then I'm kind of happy here, but a little dark down around these teeth, the bottom. And then I'm going to do the last thing that I usually do. I'm going to get my Q-tip tool, I'm going to shrink it down, and I'm going to take these that and then all of these, which I said would look better, I'm just going to start to kind of blend that. It's still too big. I'm going to start to blend this down a little. And up and down. And then I see a spot where I should have added some shadow and didn't. Okay. So, I could add some shadow and detail on the teeth. I could darken in the eyes. I'm not gonna. I probably should. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna go back to this layer, add jaw back here, right? And then the way I would just shadow. And then go to this layer. No, that's my shadow layer now. Okay. And then, sorry, got my layers confused. And then just cross-hatch that. And then I might take my eraser and fix parts of it back there, like this. And then take this and kind of blend these in a little bit. Right? And just little bits of that's what I do. And fix this and turn them this way because that'll this way. I'll take my eraser. I messed up there. Trace that, and there you go. You have an approximation of a skull right there. Um, Again, I'm not great at this. I'm just doodling. I enjoy doodling. I enjoy drawing. I enjoy learning. Thanks for watching.